I'm seeing a resurgence of anti-Semitic tropes, ancient libels and lies told about Jewish people, springing up not just from the Islamic anti-Semites, who we've come to expect to hear these sorts of ideas from, but from Western Christian people, secular Australians and Americans and people from the UK. And we're seeing it from the left and from the right. And here's what's fascinating. These people present themselves on social media as people who've gained some unique insights that nobody else has. They alone have uncovered the truth behind what these Jews, these evil Israelis, are really doing to control the world. And this is now a grand revelation that parades their inherent virtue and their great intellect. Watch this video and you'll start to think to yourself, maybe all this anti-Semitic posturing, maybe these lies are really part of a very well-funded, coordinated campaign to target Jewish people in Australia, in America, in Canada, all with the goal eventually of eradicating the state of Israel, and by doing so, weakening and destroying the West. There were two influential social media influencers. On the left, Anna Kasperian, and on the right, Nick Fuentes. On paper and in their personas, they have nothing in common. They're arriving at their views that the Jews are behind everything entirely independently, one from the hard left, one from the hard right. Until you see this video. And thanks to my friends at the Canary Mission for putting this together, but have a look at this.
Our country is under a hostile occupation.
Israeli occupation of the United States government.
Israel controls.
America's being occupied by Jews, and they both think so.
Our government.
Israel controls our government.
Control and influence and manipulate our system.
Ruled and controlled and manipulated by the nation state of Israel.
They are.
Now listen, this is an ancient trope that became very common in the Middle Ages. This idea that the Jews were controlling and pulling the strings behind everything. And it came to great prominence, of course, in the 20th century with Nazi Germany, who took these medieval tropes and extended it to this global conspiracy of Jews who were simultaneously capitalists and communists, but who were responsible for everything that was going wrong in the world.
Vampires, they suck our blood.
They suck the life out of this country.
We can.
In the Middle Ages, the blood libel took the form of Jews killing Christian babies, taking their blood to mix into their matzah to use in their wicked, evil sacrifices. And now it's Jews sucking the blood out of really all of us, hey?
Not be slaves to Israel.
I'm not a slave to Israel.
Iran does not have a nuclear weapon.
Iran did not have a nuclear arsenal.
They've discovered this entirely independently. Nobody's giving them these talking points. They're not repeating propaganda from any particular source, are they?
The supreme leader of Iran promulgated a fatwa.
He had put out a fatwa against nuclear weapons.
This would be funny if it weren't so sad.
To join Israel's war of choice.
A war of choice. That's what this is.
The real threat to America is from Israel.
Our alliance with Israel as an existential threat to the United States.
They will nuke the entire world.
Israel is the biggest threat to world peace.
Let us never forget who the real enemy is.
Do you think Kasperian copied Fuentes, or Fuentes copied Kasperian, or perhaps they're both reading off the same song sheet that has been given to them by somebody else?
The enemy is Israel.
We need to decouple from this country.
We need to decouple. Decouple. Let's separate.
We need to free America from this sick, perverse, parasitic organism that has attached itself to us. foreign nationals leeching off of public services.
The pariah state that has leached off the American people.
It's not just Netanyahu. On some level, it is the Israeli people.
The behavior of the Israeli government, and quite honestly, the vast majority of the Israeli population.
Fascinating. Now they realize it's not just the Israeli government. You can't just say it's Netanyahu and Ben Gvir. Now it's the Israeli population, and the vast majority, obviously not the 20% who are Arabs and Christians, but the 80% who are Jews. They're the ones who are doing all these terrible, evil things.
Dehumanize us. They don't see us.
I don't see Palestinians as human.
I'm an awakened goy.
Well, you're not that awakened, dude. In fact, yeah, you.
Jewish people think they're better.
And where do they develop this massive inferiority complex that projects onto the Jews some sense of superiority? Mind you, intellectually, spiritually, and morally, these two set a pretty low bar.
Than everybody.
And you think you're better than everyone else.
You know, the Jews do this.
Yes.
Go the
How can we take these people seriously when this is like watching a modern version of the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. This is like Nazi level Mufti of Jerusalem in the 1920s and 30s anti-Semitic propaganda, Russian propaganda. It's extraordinary.
fuck back to Israel.
Go back to Israel.
Greater Israel.
The Greater Israel Project.
The famous dancing Israelis.
The whole dancing Israelis thing.
The genocidal state.
A genocidal, disgusting state.
Why?
And again, there's no genocide by the current definition of genocide, unless you redefine it just to mean this is a nasty war in which people get killed and we don't like it when Israel and America win.
I give a fuck about Israel.
I don't give a damn about Israel. I don't give a damn.
And I don't fucking trust them.
I don't trust the Israelis.
Your right to exist is not real.
I don't believe Israel has the right to exist.
This is really calling for genocide. This is an extraordinary statement of ignorance and vitriol and hatred.
Be moralized by wicked, evil people.
People as evil as this exist in this world.
God's chosen people rejected their own Messiah.
You think you're God's chosen people when you act like absolute demons.
And here we have it. In the end, this is a spiritual problem. And here we have it, turning God's love for the Jewish people into the very opposite, and using this amazing promise from Scripture, from Christian theology, that it's at the heart of Christian theology, turning it around in raw, vile hatred. So what do we make of this? Once you've seen this, you can't unsee it. These tropes, these are not the result of fair-minded, independent investigation of the facts. This is a coordinated campaign to turn the population of America and of the West against Jews and against Israel as part of a broader agenda to weaken the West and to destroy the state of Israel. And you make up your own minds, but make up your minds in an informed way and realize that not everything you see online, heaven forbid, what a surprise, is truthful and a product of good faith investigation into the facts.